6 Things Sheldon Didn't Learn When He Was Young. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Although Sheldon has experienced a lot as young Sheldon, he hasn't always learned from his mistakes. The Big Bang Theory spin-off serves as the backstory for Sheldon Cooper, played by Jim Parsons, the show's most well-known character. Growing up in Medford, Texas, with a middle-class family wasn't easy for a boy genius. People frequently didn't truly get him, which made it hard for him to keep up a strong support network. Sheldon frequently felt alone and isolated despite Mary and the rest of the clan's best efforts. However, this did not imply that everyone else around him did not struggle. Young Sheldon's initial focus was on crafting Sheldon's narrative. As a result, the other members of the family were reduced to supporting roles. However, CBS gradually increased the amount of attention given to the Coopers after realizing their appeal over the years. In Young Sheldon Season 6, his family stories were more captivating than his own. This is not to say that there weren't some interesting storylines in The Boy Genius. He did, but it seemed as though CBS had no idea what to do with Sheldon now that he was a full-fledged teenager. The episode also showed how many life lessons he failed to learn from his past experiences, as he became progressively more obnoxious and challenging. It is well known that Sheldon has always enjoyed bragging about his intelligence. He has accomplished this, in part, by working on projects by himself. He probably would have remained distant in Caltech if it weren't for his friends from Pasadena on The Big Bang Theory. Fortunately, he was acquainted with Leonard, Howard, and Raj, so he had natural collaborators. He seldom ever collaborated with anyone but them, and when he did, it was reluctantly. It's unfortunate that young Sheldon never really grasped the value of teamwork, given how frequently he had to depend on others for a project. Although Sheldon has a propensity to act as though he would rather be by himself, this has been demonstrated numerous times in both. He truly needs people around him, according to Young Sheldon and The Big Bang Theory. He has been griping about sharing a room with Missy for years, saying that he would love to have his own room. However, he soon discovered that he truly enjoyed having his sister around after Missy moved away. He has, however, persisted in alienating others in spite of this insight, primarily by being annoying. Seeing Paige's demise in Young Sheldon should have opened Sheldon's eyes, aside from his bond with Missy. Regretfully, he didn't appear to gain any important insight from his fellow prodigy's difficulties as someone without a strong support network. He is typically cruel to his buddies in The Big Bang Theory and maybe disgusting to his family in Young Sheldon. The way George is portrayed in Young Sheldon and The Big Bang Theory is among their most significant differences. Sheldon characterized his father in the nerdy sitcom as inebriated and careless, but that was nothing compared to his admission that during spring break when he was 13, he had caught the Cooper patriarch in bed with another lady. Though the prequel has been largely ignoring the incident, there is still a great deal of keen anticipation for how young Sheldon will handle it. Whether or not CBS admits to young Sheldon's infidelity, it is obvious that Sheldon never came to respect his father and all that he has done for the family. He mainly talked about his shortcomings on The Big Bang Theory, omitting to mention how George held his hand during his first flight when he was afraid. Furthermore, he never brought up his father's heroic efforts to support him and the rest of the family. After years of being ignored, Missy finally became so angry about her treatment that she began to revolt. She tried to flee to Florida by stealing George's truck in what was her most audacious move to yet. Season 6 of Young Sheldon. Sheldon didn't appear to realize that the ruse wasn't successful, even though she was eventually taken back home and the antics didn't resolve anything. He pulled the same ploy as his sister a few decades prior in the Season 7 finale of The Big Bang Theory. The intriguing thing about his choice is that Sheldon isn't really the kind to run away. When you combine that with the fact that Missy's adventurous road trip didn't cure her problems, it's astounding that her twin brother would believe it would help him with his own problems. Sheldon frequently thought he could accomplish anything because of his intelligence. Thus, his and Amy's attempt to win the Nobel Prize in Physics for the Big Bang Theory ran into a huge roadblock. The socially awkward savant reportedly had never encountered such a failure before, so he truly struggled with it. However, Season 6 of Young Sheldon showed that this was not the case. When his contentious grant database crashed when he was a child, he had gone through something similar. Sheldon simply didn't learn how to handle things well when they didn't go his way, for whatever reason. Sheldon's identical sister made just 2 appearances on The Big Bang Theory before co-starring in the CBS family comedy. She spent some time with the socially awkward genius in Pasadena on her visit there in Season 1, and 10 years later in Season 11. To go to the wedding of Sheldon and Amy, she made an impression despite her little engagement, and by the time she made her Young Sheldon debut, curiosity about her was already high. Despite Missy's social talents, it was eventually discovered that her childhood wasn't really enjoyable. Her social life was hindered by having a brother who was a genius. Nevertheless, Missy continued to be incredibly sympathetic and patient with Sheldon. The socially awkward genius turned to her too often for emotional support and direction. Sheldon, however, hardly expressed gratitude for what Missy had done for him. He was dismissive of her when she initially went to Pasadena on The Big Bang Theory. He frequently ignored Missy when he didn't need anything from her, even in Young Sheldon. Maybe in Season 7, Sheldon can atone for his treatment of his sister, even if only briefly. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay with us.